All right, so I just got a couple questions to ask you regarding Vale and how you decided to start it up and whatnot. So what did make you decide to open up your business?
What made me open up Vale was solving a problem in the market. It was tough to be healthy, in Tallahassee, inconvenient. A lot of students trying to do so, with work and school on my plate. Personally, it was very difficult. So I decided to, really look into, what it took to, solve the problem and just take it a day, one day at a time. Solving little problems to lead up into, open up the restaurant.
How much time, money, and planning did it take to decide?
It took a lot of time, all of the above. I can't really give a quantitative value on each. It really just, you have to be an all-in type of guy. You got to focus on, saying, seeing what works, what's not working, and then, really being able to, take, your best judgment to bring it all into fruition. But, the capital needs and, the time that you put into it, is something that, it's more of a personal investment than anything.
How did you find this location? Prime location.
Prime location. Honestly, the deal was not on the market. It was a deal that I personally kind of had to create because Brooklyn Waterbury was a corporate, business. I had to go and speak to their, CEO, COO, and present them, with this opportunity. Because they had a lease. They were bound to it, and at the end of the day, they were, they were in no position to have a 6,000 square foot bagel shop with pizza. So it was a no-brainer on their end, and it was a no-brainer on my end. So I was able to, convince their board and them, and the landlord as well. And through about 6 months of just hard negotiating, we were able to formulate a lease and get it going.
That's worked out really well.
Yeah.
So lease isn't cheap, neither is opening up your own business. How'd you obtain so much startup capital?
Well, the good thing is that we were definitely in a more unique position than a typical startup. Where we already had 2 revenue streams, firing on all cylinders, from the meal plans having had 2 years of growth and development and brand awareness, and just clientele, attainment during those time periods, and then we had catering as well. So for us, we were able to really in 2016 leverage our cash flow based off of what meal plan was producing. So we weren't, if you look at the books and what we were doing, we were really just investing all of our profits, right back into the storefront. And then as far as outside money, we were able to raise that, from family and friends, and I worked with Capital City Bank here, a local bank in town, and was able to really showcase through the meal plan side for 2 years a good track record with them. So it gave me a lot more than me just saying, hey, I need this money for a restaurant. I had more of a track record showing, what I've been able to do. So it was a combination of all of those efforts.
So you're in a college town, but there's also downtown Tallahassee. How do you go about marketing to the 2 different
So Tallahassee's, a very unique city because it's not like UCF. UCF is completely separated from downtown Orlando. Tallahassee is, one of the few, colleges, universities where it's literally sharing downtown with, the people of the working professionals in town. So the way that we go about, advertising to them, is a lot of it's through catering, a lot of it's through, having these, different sort of business, networking events and stuff. We'll go to, we'll sponsor, we'll give away, some, we'll raffle off a meal plan, and we'll get, we'll try to figure out more ways of driving that traffic into the store, but that clientele isn't our primary focus, for the restaurant side, but they definitely are a good, chunk of what our meal plan business is.
Get into the more in-depth behind the scenes part of it. What are the legal, the licensing requirements?
So you we're you have to be incorporated business with the state of Florida. So we're an LLC. We to be able to work in food service, you have to have different types of qualifications and certifications, but also licenses. The restaurant has, we have a restaurant license, we have a beer and wine license because we serve that. We don't serve any liquor, but it's different classified license of beer and wine. We have also a catering license, that's food service mobile, that's working more on our meal plan side. So we have those 3 licenses that we have to maintain, as compliant, on an annual basis. And then we also have, we have to pass our health inspections, with the Department of Business Professional Regulation. And you also have to have a ServSafe, kitchen manager certified, employee on staff as well. Which that's something that's making sure that we have somebody who can set the precedent, with training and cross-training employees to have proper ways of storing food, maintaining food, cooking food, and such and so forth.
Sounds like a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot.
So you brought up employees. How do you select potential employees that you can eventually trust?
Employees is a game where honestly it's a struggle in every business, every industry. Personnel, hiring, firing, turnover. When I go about hiring, I look at one variable that is the most critical, and it's a person's character. In food, in any industry, you can really teach anybody anything. But if you have someone's character is a good person who works hard, whether your eyes are there or not, at the end of the day, that's somebody I want on my team. I don't want to have somebody who I'm thinking hey, when I leave, how is this person going to unfold? I've worked in hospitality, for a very long time. I've seen environments where employees can be cancerous to an operation. They can really destroy the infrastructure, from the inside out. So I'm very, very picky with my personnel, and I'll fire, very fast if I see, cancerous signs.
I agree. How many different positions are available from top to bottom?
We have, we're a young company, we're growing very fast. We're looking for, people who are motivated and wants to grow with the company, maybe not from the initial startup phase, but, from where we're at now, growing and accelerating. So we have any positions from part-time positions as, front of house cashiers to, delivery driving to, being a prep cook, for a lot of, students that are interested in culinary. They love those type of positions where they can still balance their workload and also attain skills. And then we have a lot of full-time positions as well with, our customer service team, with, management, within the store, within our meal plan division. We also have a catering manager position. So we have a pretty decent amount of, opportunity, for people across the spectrum.
Awesome. How do you go about in evaluating those employees?
We have a process where every 60 days we sit down with our employees, and we go through an evaluation, with how they're doing, what they can be doing better, and then giving them a game plan. Trying to figure out, okay, hey, how, what do they need to work on? Because there's not enough times in the workplace do people know, if they're doing something good or bad, because they're just going. When you're in a restaurant operation, 7 days a week, we don't have days off. So we have to always, be moving, and taking those times to sit down and, evaluate helps our personnel grow, into, better people. So.
Okay. From day-to-day operations, upon yourself, what do you do?
My days, change. I really try to take it as, wherever the company needs the most attention, I'm going to, make sure I attack that area and solve those problems. I'm the owner of the company, but essentially all I'm doing on a day-to-day basis is problem solving. Problem solving one-on-one, where anything is happening, you gotta, if there's emergency, solve it. If there's something that's a reoccurring problem, figure out what's causing that problem, solve it. So, really we do a lot of, I look at, what we have, from marketing, sales, the operations, the systems, that we have in place to, our costs, and I really try to take every day of the week as I have a focus, per day. And some weeks, I may spend more on hiring, than other weeks, but, at the end of the day, when you're running a business, it's like you have to maintain every facet. You can't just let one, fall to the wayside. Because then next thing you know, that area of your business sucks. So you have to always have that constant, kind of attention on all those areas.
Awesome. Does that sound easy? Just to wrap it up, what's the future of Vale?
Future of Vail is, planning to open up in new markets. Florida is definitely, our main focus. South Florida, Central Florida, all different parts. We've had a lot of people, express interest, in having a Vail in their city, and that's been, a great indicator, of being able to do well in new markets. Yeah, we're working well in Tallahassee and the Florida State, environment, but we're looking forward to, the next horizon, and that's, being able to open up multiple stores, across Florida, and then, maybe taking, it regionally where Southeast, and going from there.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me.